Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. What we're going to be talking about is basically the childcare basics and what it takes to operate your own daycare, whether it's a family childcare home or childcare center. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Adrian Shawn Donaldson. I am the childcare guru, the one and only. All things and everything childcare, I am your go-to. So as I said, tonight is the childcare basic training. So it's leading up to our boot camp, which is the EEC Jitterbug Boot Camp, which is basically helping you go from 1 to 100 to get your school open. We're going to walk you through every step. It is 8 wonderful weeks, months long, depending on how intensified you want to open your daycare. And it comes with a wonderful workbook that yours truly is creating. And I'm going to just share a little bit with you because it is in the stages of being copywritten. So this is just the outline of it, just to give you a little quick doozy through it. And with each chapter, it's a different part of the business and mastering it so that you are successful in operating your own school. So the first thing I want to talk about is the 3 things you do not want to get into early childhood for. These 3 reasons should not be one of your reasons for opening your own daycare. And if you take my course, you're going to figure out that why is very important. I live by my why for why I have a family home daycare, why I open my school, why I am operating on my own, why I'm my own boss. So your why is going to be really, really, really important. These 3 reasons should not be one of your whys for why you want to own your own school. The first one is the money. There's not a lot of money in this field. I'm going to teach you in my course how you can make a lot of money in this field, but just going into it saying, I want to get rich, that's not going to work. The second one is for the glory. If you think you're going to open up a school and the parents are going to love you and you're going to just get magic awards and applause and everybody's going to tell you how wonderful you are and how good you do. No, this is not a good why. And the last why is for retirement. If you think you're going to get in this field and retire off of it and you're only going to work this field and this only, that's not going to be a wonderful why. Your why for opening your school has to be deeper because your school is going to go through ups and downs. You're going to have a lot of enrollments with a waiting list, and then there's going to be times where you have little kids and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet. So if you're in it for one of those 3 reasons, you're going to be one of the statistics of why many of the schools closing after 2 years or 3 years of operation. Your why has to be something that keeps you solid and your foundation as you operate your school and you go through these highs and these lows. When you have difficult parents and you have great parents, and then you have these kids that are just so disrespectful, and then you have pleasant children, you have to have a solid why. My why is when I was 10 years old, my parents got pregnant with my youngest sister, Alicia. We call her Kitty. And at the time, I was 10 years old, and they killed all of our pets, okay? My birds flew away, the fish died, and we watched them get flushed. The dogs ran away or were taken away from by animal control because the neighbors called on them. And as a 10-year-old, I didn't think my parents could take care of my sister. Now, she's the last of 5. Okay, all 4 of us were gifted, happy, and healthy children, but I didn't see that. I saw them not being able to take care of animals. So I was like, okay, They can't take care of a dog. They're not going to be able to take care of kitties. I'm going to have to help them. I'm going to have to be her mommy. And that is why I entered the field of teaching. At 10 years old, I started tutoring kids. I started reading books about babies. I started working with younger children in my elementary school. And then it just grew from there. I don't ever think about the money. I'm doing very well off, but I don't have just a family home daycare. I have the Jitterbug professional development business. I mentor. I'm a certified coach now. Today, I found out I am a certified coach. So I passed my course. So I have other things that support me. So the money isn't my why. I really want to do this so that I can have a support. I can be of a support to the same children that are going through the school system. I was bullied in school. I was picked on. I was chosen last at different sports. So I know what it's like. And I had great teachers to make me feel wonderful and make me feel loved. I still talk to my kindergarten teacher, my Head Start teacher, my pre-K teacher, my 5th grade teacher. I mean, those are the early childhood teachers that help create the teacher you see before you now. So the first thing I want you to figure out is your why. Why do you want to open your own school? Why do you want to be your own boss? And write it down. Share it. Talk about it. That way it can become real. Because when I lose kids and I don't know what I'm going to do at the end of the day, I always say, I'm here to make a difference. Whether it's for the children or my staff. I'm really big on taking care of my staff because they are an extension of myself. When you see me, you see them. When you see them, you see me. So I worked at 32 different schools and I was mistreated. I would only go back to 2 of those schools that I worked at, believe it or not. Out of 32 schools, I would only go back to 2. And that's because I was mistreated. I wasn't valued as an employee or someone that brought something more to the table. And I didn't appreciate that. I wanted to be more than just someone that clocked in and clocked out. I wanted to be respected for my thoughts and my education and my creativity and what I brought to the table. And most of the time, because I look like I'm 12 and I speak like I'm 60, people don't respect me. They're intimidated by me. So I had a why from my school when I opened. I want to create a place that people can come work and be happy. I want to build a home for early childhood educators that they can come and grow their own platform. And if they want to move on and open their own school, they will be in a place that will set them up to be able to do it successfully. And that's why I tell my staff, anything that I know, I'm going to share it. I want you to know it. I want you to grow and be better. So owning your own school means that you're looking into a bigger why. You're looking to make a difference in the early childhood field. Now, with the early childhood field, there are pros and there are cons. And that's the next thing I want to talk about with you guys. Because a lot of people tell you, open a school. Yeah, it's easy. Oh my God, all you do is sit with the kids. But I want to be sure that I tell you the pretty and the ugly. So when you take my course, my boot camp course, it goes into deeper details of the pros and the cons. But I'm going to just list them really quickly. And if you want, you can ask questions in this part. So some of the pros is you have freedom, especially being an owner. You know, you don't have to work that 9 to 5. You can create that business, create those job descriptions, hire those roles, train them, and then kind of have more freedom. You care for your own. There's nothing like being a parent and having to send your children off to another school. But if you're a parent or a godparent or an aunt, grandma even, grandpa, uncle, dad, being able to own your own school means you're able to create that atmosphere in which you want your child to learn it. Weekly income. Now, this one is one of my favorite pros. Okay, I'm not about the money, but it's nice to know I have a weekly income guaranteed sometimes, because once you get those parents that love you, you're not going anywhere. All you got to do is make sure you're meeting your ideal client, which we'll get deeper into if you take our boot camp. Ideal clients is really important, so you know who you're marketing to, who you're advertising to, who are you trying to reach. Personal teaching based on your philosophy. So I worked in a lot of schools where I had to teach on what they believe children should learn, or how children should learn. When you have your own, you're able to create your own foundation, your own principles, your own beliefs, your own philosophy. And this is what you can build your school off of. For example, I'm Jehovah's Witness. I don't believe in teaching children holidays. So I'm able to leave a school that forced me to sing Christmas songs and do Valentine's Day to open my own and focus on the academics, the life skills, the independent skills, the foundational skills that take children from my classroom to kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 12th, all the way up to college to adult life. I focus on the skills that they really need. And then the last pro is an impact on generations. You open your own school, you have your own children, you have your own, you're leaving a generational income. You're building a different wealth status for your family, especially if you open a high quality school, you train and take care of your staff, you involve your family and friends to the point where they are emotionally and financially invested. And you then, God forbid, pass away, your school is going to be left in great hands to bring up the generations. Not to mention the children that are coming through your classroom that you're interacting with year after year after year after year. You're impacting different generations on different levels. Now, the ugly con. There are many cons, but some of them you can overcome. The major ones is time strain. Now, when you're owning your own business, that means a lot of stuff is you. Billing, processing, lesson plans, menus, buying, shopping, supplies, parents, staffing, all of this stuff relies on you. So a lot of times time becomes a real strain for us. And we have to fight and overcome this by setting up different things within our business. For one thing, I love automations. A lot of things that operate in my business are automated. So you go to the website, you fill out a form, you automatically get a reply. I then by myself 2 days, because that's what it says on the website, will follow up with you 3 days. So I give myself 2 days to get back to this person. Automations allows me to extend my time. So even with cons, there are ways to resolve them, answer them, and overcome them. The next one is income fluctuation. Now, summertime, a lot of parents keep their children at home because the older students are at home, so they don't have to pay childcare. These are different fluctuations that you have to, come up with for. What are you going to do to address income fluctuations? How are you going to plan for them? I love to be proactive. So I identify a problem, I plan different solutions, and I create a proactive plan. So when that problem arises, I'm already ready to address it. And the last con is getting sick. Young children means you're gonna get sick a lot. You have to build up your immune system and find ways to be safe and healthy around them. I had to change my diet. I had to take vitamins. It's just something that you can do, but trust me, your immune system will get strong over time. That's not a major con, but it is something that is worth noting. Do you guys have any questions about the pros and the cons that I discussed?
No.
Awesome. I mean, you don't. I'm a good teacher, so Make sure you check out Jitterbug Professional Development LLC if you need anything childcare related. I also want to talk about the different types of childcare settings. So I am a family childcare home. I'm a large family childcare exact. And there's a difference between the different settings. There's family home, which is you can have 10 children, 5 school age, 5 preschool, or 6 preschools at one time. There's large family homes, which means you were a small family home for 2 years, and now you're licensed with the fire inspection, and you can have 12 children of any age as long as there's 2 people, 2 certified teachers with their hours, their DCF hours. There's childcare centers that is in a building by itself, a standalone building, even if it's a brick and mortar, and you basically run out of it with different terms for different age groups. And then you have faith-based, which is church-based childcare centers that are operating out of a church or that are in a standalone building, but that have filed and are licensed for a religious exemption. Then there is public schools, which they have Head Start, Early Head Start, and PPK in there. You want to identify which program works for you best. I always encourage my clients to start with a family home and work your way up. Reason being is because you can start in your home and then you can create a brand and a business for yourself, create a clientele, people that are interested in you, and then you can out and get a center. This allows you to get your income growing, get your income up, get your clientele growing, create a waiting list, get on social media and create a hype for you and create a following. Then when you grow, get into your center, you already have children, so you're not stressed over income. You already have a social media presence, so you're not worried about growing the enrollment. And then you already have a support system within the parents that you're moving to this center. Now, when it comes to different things like this, there's a lot of things you want to think about when you're moving. If you open up in North Miami, it's ideal to stay within the area because, again, you're building clientele in that area. You also need to remember your ideal client. Your ideal client is who you're reaching. For example, when I first opened, I was desperate. I was reaching any and everybody that needed childcare. That was too broad. I had to become more specific in what I was trying to do in my center and my family home, what I was trying to reach and succeed. And once I did that, I identified that my ideal client is a middle-class working family that values education. The parents possibly went to college themselves or have taken some certification courses. And they are solid in the fact that their child needs early childhood. I don't want parents that are looking for a babysitter. I'm looking for parents for children to be educated at the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Why? I needed to be more specific in my ideal client because I needed to know who I was advertising to, who I specifically was marketing to reach. These are the parents I am then going to get in my school to enroll. If I'm just reaching out to any and everybody that has children, I'm going to get a lot of parents in my school, but I'm going to have a bad turnover rate. I'm going to have a lot of parents that are leaving my school because they're not able to keep up and maintain our policies and our values, or they don't see the importance in what we're doing in our school. My ideal client is what keeps my business operating. I have tons of parents that reach and maintain my ideal expectations. And I'm very clear. When I enroll children in my school, I start every parent meeting on just like this. Thank you for choosing Jitterbug. I'm so excited to be speaking today. I just want to let you know we run our school on 2 models. The first one is it takes a village to raise a child. So if you're looking for this to be a one-way street, if you're looking for Jitterbug to do everything and you do nothing, this is not the school for you. The second model is to reach the child, I must first reach the parent. So we can't communicate if we can't criticize each other, if we can't give each other compliments and suggestions, this is not the school for you. I'm very clear on what I expect from my parents. And I lay that out very detailed in my orientation meeting, which leads me to my next topic. Paperwork. Anyone that is opening a childcare center, you need to remember documents is important. Parent handbooks, parent agreements, tuition agreements, TPF forms. There are so many different documents that you have to keep in mind. And if you join our boot camp, we provide a lot of these documentations for you. Just to give you an idea of how detailed you should be, my enrollment packet includes 14 different documents. It starts off with the application where the parent writes their information, their name, the child's birthday, who can pick up the child, allergy information, key information. In that enrollment packet, there's also an all about me form, a termination policy, discipline policy, expulsion policy, transportation policy, celebration policy. I can go on and on and on. But one thing that I learned is with all my documentation, it changes as I am opening and operating. Every time a problem rises, back to the parent handbook. Time to make some corrections. In my parent handbook, it lays out everything in great detail, what we have a policy for, when we have a cutoff time for in the morning, what are our late fees, what are our expectations of parents, what are some of the parent family events that we have, what are the staffing requirements, tons and tons of information. And in our orientation, we go through this with our parents. We don't just give them this packet to walk out with. No, we sit down with them and we go through this packet. Reason being is we want to make sure that they understand what they're signing. Most parents, you'll find they will just sign their life away just so they can enroll their child. You need to be more detailed in what you're doing. So if you're going to be the owner of a childcare center or family childcare home, you need to be informed in what you are required to have on file for every child. In our boot camp, we go through that list in great detail. And we also provide samples for you. Now, like I said, there's not a lot of money in this field. However, if you work this field properly, you can make a very decent income. For example, your income isn't going to be just tuition, right? Most people would say yes. Well, no. Your income should be not just tuition, but fundraising. We require our parents to fundraise. So fundraising helps us make ends meet. It helps us make improvements in our school. And it really helps us just enhance things. We also charge a late payment fee. So if parents don't want to pay on Fridays, no later than Monday mornings, $50 late fee. We charge for late drop-off fees. So if they want to come after 9 o'clock, it's $100. Yeah, I said it because I want to discourage parents from coming after 9 o'clock because that's when lessons start. But if you want to run that risk, take that chance, go ahead. We also charge a late pickup fee, a supply fee, registration fee, insurance fee, uniform fee, fundraising, in-house school events, date night, campouts, selling supplies and equipment, donations, and we become Gold Seal accredited. With our Gold Seal accreditation, we are able to get a boost on every child that is enrolled. And right now we're fighting to get that increased. So different ways to create income for your school. It doesn't have to just be what the parents pay. Not to mention there are tons of governmental programs that can help provide extra income, such as school readiness, TCT, VPK, the CCEP program, Head Start, Early Head Start, And I can go on and on and on. There's military vouchers, there's Title I and vouchers. All of these you are able to apply for it and offer within your school. All of these different things can help bring that income and raise your bottom line. When you think about parents, that's going to be your solid, how can I say this, obstacle. Parents can be either a burden or a blessing. Some parents make running a school so much fun. They make me laugh, they tell jokes, they support. And then you have parents that feel that they're entitled to be in your school. That's when you have your termination policy. Termination policy basically entails this is what we allow, this is what we don't allow. If you do this, this is your three strikes, and then you're out. And this is the grounds for what we do for when we terminate. You want to make sure in your contract you explain what happens if a parent has a balance. I contract with a collections agency. So if in the event that I have a parent that has a balance, it does go on their credit report. And it doesn't come off until they pay the collections agency. And those fees are also added into that balance. All of this is laid out in our termination policy. Anything that you want the parent to abide by, you need to have in writing, and you need to explain to the parent very clearly. The last thing we're going to talk about tonight is mission statements. When you're opening your school, you want to make sure you have a clear mission statement, vision statement, and philosophy of education. Your mission statement is your short-term goal for your school. What do you hope to achieve within 5 years? Your vision statement is your long-term goal. What do you hope to achieve in 10 to 15 years? Your mission statement and vision statement grow and change with your school. So you have in mind, this is something you want to start working on now as you grow into the idea of owning your own school. You want to think about branding. What colors speaks your business? What images represents your business? For me, it was a sunflower and ladybugs. And our logo, our ladybugs, there's 3 ladybugs. One's climbing up the sunflower, one is in the middle of the sunflower, and one is flying off. Our logo tells us the ladybug climbing up the sunflower represents the students that are being enrolled in our school, that we're pouring ourselves into, that we're helping them climb the ladder of success. The ladybug that's in the middle of the sunflower represents the students that we have had over the years and that have reached the level of success, and we're getting them ready to fly off into success. And the ladybug that is flying represents our VPK graduates and our alumni that are already flying and soaring and reaching new heights and being successful in the school system. You want to create a brand that speaks not only to you, but to others as they come to your business. And the tracks that those ladybug leaves as they fly off are tracks. So others are attracted to our school and to our, and others can feed off of our nectar, which is our education stance, our staffing, our love and passion for what we do. So I challenge you all tonight. We're going to have another pop-up training to, promote our boot camp, and it is going to be free. So I encourage you, the 3 of you that have joined us and anyone on YouTube watching, join us next month for our pop-up training, for our childcare basic training. And bring in your mission statements. Write down your mission statements and your branding, your logo ideas, and join us next month and share that with us, and we'll help you critique it and make it better. We are your one-stop shop for all of your childcare needs, and we really hope you enjoyed this training tonight. It was just a discussion of the childcare basics, what you need to know to get your feet wet to open your own childcare center or family childcare home. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we also have our Teach Me Tuesdays at the end of the month. And we are going to be talking on a variety of topics each month. And we also have our VIP Early Educators Club and our Accountabilities Club. So I want to thank you all for joining us. And if you have any questions, please join us on Facebook. Every Friday we go live, and you can visit our website at www.jitterbugp